Hello, my name is Sandra Allan and I'm the Head of Curriculum for the Creative Arts at AQA. I'm going to talk you through the main one-off changes to how we'll be assessing our creative arts subjects in summer 2022. Let's start with art and design, where the changes are the same for both GCSE and A-level. Students will need to complete Component 1 in the normal way, and as usual, Component 1 will be marked out of 96. The assessment criteria and the specification remains the same. We'll be returning to moderator visits in June 2022, and you'll need to send us your marks by the 31st of May. Following our free teacher standardization meetings where we included new work, we fully photographed each set in case you were not able to attend or want to revisit the work or internally standardize other staff. Let's move on to dance. At GCSE, students will complete 2 dance performances, 1 set phrase and 1 solo, duet or trio. These should have a combined minimum duration of 1.5 minutes if they are both solo performances, or 2 minutes if they include a duet or trio. Students will only need to complete and submit 1 set phrase. The solo, duet or trio must be based on 2 of the remaining 3 set phrases. Students will choreograph either a complete solo dance of at least 1.5 minutes or a complete group dance of at least 2 minutes. This can be performed by the student or someone else. For dance appreciation, we've published advanced information for Section C, which specifies the set works that will be targeted in the assessment. At A-level, students will perform a solo dance of between 1.5 minutes and 3 minutes. Students will perform in a dance as either a solo performer or in a group of up to 4 dancers. As a solo, they'll have between 1.5 minutes and 4 minutes, or as a group, they'll have between 2 and 4 minutes. Students will choreograph a dance for 1 to 5 dancers that last between 2 and 4 minutes. This can be performed by the student or someone else. For this summer, we've moved Component 1 from visiting exams to postal exams. For critical engagement, we've published advanced information for Section A, which specifies which dancers from the set works will be targeted in the assessment. Now let's look at drama. We'll allow students to submit alternative evidence where it hasn't been possible to produce a recording of a final performance. You'll be able to use COVID-19 on the NEA Fieldwork and Live Performance Centre declaration form as the reason students haven't been able to attend a live theatre performance. At GCSE, for devising drama, students will now be able to complete a monologue. We've reduced the timing requirements to 1.5 minutes for a monologue and 2 minutes for a duologue or group. For text in practice, we've reduced the number of performances required from 2 to 1. We've reduced the timing requirements to 1.5 minutes for a monologue and 2 minutes for a duologue or group. We've moved from visiting exams to postal exams for 2022 only. Finally, for understanding drama, we've provided advanced information for Section B. This sets out the start and the end points of the section for each of the set texts. The specific extract that will be assessed in the exam will be taken from this section. At A-level, for creating original drama, we'll allow students to complete a monologue. We've reduced the timings to 1.5 minutes for a monologue and 3 minutes for a duologue or group. For making theatre, we've reduced the required number of extracts from 3 to 1. We've reduced the timings to 1.5 minutes for a monologue and 3 minutes for a duologue or group. We've moved from visiting exams to postal exams for 2022 only. For drama and theatre, we've provided advanced information for Section A and B. For Section A, we've included a range of characters and/or theatrical elements for each set text. The assessment will focus on one or more of these characters and/or theatrical elements. Section B sets out the start and end points for a section from each of the set texts. The specific extract that will be assessed in the exam will be taken from this section. So that's it for drama, and let's move on to media studies, where the changes are the same for both GCSE and A-level. For the media studies non-exam assessment, we'll allow submissions of a prototype or mock-ups with supporting evidence. we've removed the instruction to penalise students for the use of non-original images. We've also amended the briefs to give you extra guidance on what constitutes a prototype or mock-up. For Media 1 and Media 2, we've provided advanced information for all examined components. This explains which of the specifications set media forms and products will be assessed in each section, and the area of the theoretical framework or media context that will be assessed against. Finally, let's take a look at music. At GCSE, for performing, students will now need to submit either one solo performance with a duration of at least 1.5 minutes or one ensemble performance with a duration of at least 2 minutes. For compositions, students will now need to compose one piece of music with a duration of at least 2 minutes. Compositions can be in response to a set brief or freely composed, and students don't have to perform in their own composition. In understanding music, we've provided advanced information for Section A and B. For Section A, we've indicated the style or genre for each of the area studies that will be taken from this specification. For Section B, we've identified the study pieces in which the extended questions will draw. So that just leaves us with A-level music. For performance, students now need to perform one or more pieces of music with a combined minimum duration of at least 3.5 minutes. Performances can take place any time from now until the 15th of May. For composition, students now need to compose one piece of music with a duration of at least 2 minutes. Compositions can be in response to a set brief or freely composed, and students do not need to perform in their own composition. For appraising music, we've produced advanced information which identifies the set works that will feature in Section B. Before we finish, some details about time penalties for GCSE and A-level dance, music and drama. The minimum time penalty will apply as normal to the new minimum time requirements and the current maximum for A-level dance. The size of the reduction is proportionate to the severity of the timing infringement, starting with 5% of the total available raw mark. Finally, a few words on teacher online standardization. Teacher online standardization for internally assessed components is available on Centre Services for Dance, Drama, Media Studies and GCSE Music. There's a good range of new work supporting these adaptations, all with accompanying commentaries that support the marks awarded. At AQA, we know how much teaching and learning has been disrupted by the COVID pandemic. We also know that this summer will be the first time that GCSE and A-level students will have taken a formal exam. So we're here to support you every step of the way. Here are the email addresses for each of the creative arts subjects. You can find a full summary of all of these changes on our website, along with lots of other information and support to help you this summer.